Todd, Daryl, welcome to SuperChat. Say, Daryl, let me turn directly to you. Your school district has a new initiative this school year. You're implementing something referred to as Restorative Practices. Give our listeners an overview description of just what this is all about.
We're very excited to bring Restorative Practices to the district. Restorative Practices came out of something called the Institute of International Restorative Practices. It's an accredited graduate school with sites that are worldwide. The actual framework around restorative practices is all around building community, strengthening relationships between people, and resolving conflict peaceably. So the premise of this that we're bringing to our staff, and we are training all of our teachers, assistants, bus drivers, every staff member in the district will be trained by the end of the school year. It basically postulates that when people have things done with them instead of to them or for them, they are happier, more productive, and more cooperative. So this allows our teachers to have strategies to proactively deal with building community, building relationships with their students, with their families, and with the community in order to strengthen those ties and build the capacity to have problem solving, proactive strategies to address discipline, behavior, academics, attendance, all kinds of issues in a very proactive way and very collaborative with the students, the families, and the school all sitting around the table resolving this peaceably and together in a very proactive way.
Well, I think this is quite a noble endeavor. And, the way I hear it described by you, this sounds like something that any one of us could benefit greatly from just kind of taking pause and examining on our own parts every day as we conduct ourselves, regardless of what we're doing. Am I missing a piece, or is that true?
No, actually, the International Institute for Restorative Practices does this training for communities. They do it for governmental agencies, for schools. So it really is something that can apply to anyone in any part of their life. And we've already done this year all of the training for the teachers. So we have actually 24 people in the district who are certified as trainers through this International Institute of Restorative Practices graduate school. And those 24 people have already trained every single teacher in the district on August 15th and 16th during our in-service day. It's a 2-day training, and actually on Friday, September 2nd, is the second full day of training with all of our teachers at the building level. So by the end of the day on September 2nd, every teacher, administrator will be fully trained in this model and have the language and the strategies to interact proactively to build and strengthen relationships.
What has been the reaction on the part of the teachers so far? Is there honest buy-in? I mean, are people getting on board with this? Because obviously it's, in its purest sense, this is a good thing.
We've had an extremely strong and positive response from our administrators, from our teachers, from anyone who's been exposed to it, because it just makes sense. Like you said, it's kind of common sense, everyday interactions with people. So we've had a lot of staff who have already emailed or contacted us with comments ranging from, this is, reinforcing what I already do. This is helping me give stronger tools in my toolbox to be more proactive and help and support students and families. So we've had a really strong positive outpouring from all of our staff.
Well, the way I hear this described as well, I'm thinking to myself, beyond the teachers, this touches pretty much every corner of support staff within your organization. How long do you feel this entire process to go all the way around the circle, so to speak, and come back to where you originated will it take to touch? I mean, you're talking about custodians, school nurses, transportation people, secretarial staff, and there's probably a lot of others I've missed, but can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, throughout the school year on all of our in-service days, we'll be working with training different groups of staff members so that by the end of the school year, our goal is to have 100% of our people trained. And then over the summer of next year, anyone that we've missed or any new hires, we'll pick all of them up. So we should be able to start next school year with 100% of our staff completely trained with this model, with this mindset, and with these tools.
Excellent. To what extent does this then extend to the level of contact that staff in any position may have with members of the community, the public, parents, students?
Students will notice it all the time. There are strategies that will be implemented. There are tools that we use. One of the tools that is part of the program is getting people in a circle to talk so that everyone has equal access to have their voice heard. Our administrators are doing that when they are working with students and families. Our counselors are working with that. So people will begin to see this as part of the culture of what we do in terms of building a stronger, more sustainable and healthier culture and climate district-wide. Through open houses, through PTA meetings, we are promoting this and talking about it as much as we can so people are aware of what's going on, because it's not a secret. And like you said, it can be applied in any part of your life by any person. A lot of the people that have gone through the training have made the comment, I'm not just restorative at work. I find myself using this at home with my kids. I find myself using it with family, with friends. So it really does permeate every part of your life.
I think you're right. This is really an excellent overall course in human relations. And you use the word culture, and I like that because to get to the heart of change within any organization, to impact the culture in a positive way is where change truly moves from. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And we've spent a lot of time talking about this and looking at this and investigating this and researching this and looking at other places that have used restorative practices and the impact it's had on staff morale, attendance, grades, discipline, overall culture and climate surveys. So this is something that we have put a lot of time, effort, and energy into because of the payoff that we see district-wide in a lot of areas.
Mm-hmm. Well, Todd, let me turn to you. Regarding what Daryl has been talking about, can you explain the roles of the support staff involved? Drill it down a little bit as to how this project and the staff will enhance the overall educational process.
It comes down to us doing a better job communicating with students and families. Our students come to school with a lot of things on their plate, and I always tell our staff the best 7 hours that a kid has out of 24 is the 7 with us. The parents may disagree, but I like to think we are giving them their emotional needs, their social needs, their educational needs, working with them to be physically healthy and do what they need to do to survive in life. But, we just want to continue to nurture the relationship we have with our kids, because if they feel safe, if they feel like they're listened to, if they feel like they have a voice in their education, they're going to be more proactive. A lot of what we do revolves around our staff. So right now, our teachers are in the process of getting the training for this, and some of our instructional aides and some of the folks in our building. But I'm not sure if people realize Northwest Local School District employs 1,200 employees. We service over 9,500 students, and half of those 1,200 employees are classified staff. So you go into little things that folks don't get recognition for. You start with school nurses. The beginning of the school year is huge for them, collecting EMAs, making sure they've got medical records of when medication is due. A school nurse does more than just put Band-Aids on and more than just issue medication. They become a friend to the child. They become somebody they can trust. This, again, aligns with restorative practice. We've got our custodians. Our kids look up to these folks. They see them at lunchtime. They see them in the hallways. They see a smiling face. They see somebody who speaks to them when they see them doing something they shouldn't do. Our custodians, their hardest part of the year is in the hottest months we have, June, July, and August, cleaning the buildings. And we don't have air conditioning in our buildings. So these folks are busting it to get these rooms cleaned, getting these walls cleaned, floors waxed, everything they can so the kids are ready to go when they come back. Then you look at transportation. They come in early so they can learn the routes for the students, making sure they know where to go. The first week or so of school, they wait a little extra at the bus stops to make sure kids are coming out. The drop-off is always taken seriously by our bus drivers. They care about these little ones, and if there's not somebody there to pick them up at the bus stop, they bring them back to school or call and make sure they are taken care of. They are hugely important to what we do. Our secretarial staff, who gets the brunt pretty much of everything, their goal for them is customer service. We talked about, do the kids feel like they're nurtured? Well, we want parents to feel the same way. Are we warm? Are we friendly? Are we inviting? Are we here to help you? And secretaries have to deal with angry parents. They have to deal with happy parents. What we had in August was an amazing, over 500 new students enroll in our district. Just in the month of August, 500 students enrolled. That's a lot of work for them, getting schedules together, getting information to parents. And then that carries on to our instructional and personal aides. They service our kids. They are the communication between the students and the parents. They assist teachers in class. They collaborate. But, all of these support staff, our classified staff, are highly important. They're a big piece of our Northwest family. Majority of them live in our district. So not only are they working a job, but they're making a difference in our community. So I cannot say enough about what they do for our kids.
Well, to a certain extent, this Restorative Practices initiative is, in a way, adding definition and a framework for a lot of what already exists in the way your staff conduct themselves, interacting with each other and parents and the community. I mean, it's kind of just giving some definition and framework, is it not?
Very much so. And again, when you have a transient population, which means kids are moving in and out every year, and obviously if we enrolled 500 in August, we had another 500 leave because our enrollment is staying the same. That's a lot of kids to turn over one school year. So this is a way to make students feel warm, welcome. If they're coming from a school where they're ahead in their education or behind, we can work with them, find out where they are, provide enrichment, provide intervention. It's just a great way to deal with students, the families, and the community.
Understand. Well, your academic partnership with Butler Tech is something we've discussed on this podcast multiple times. But what's this I'm hearing lately about evening classes for the community at large?
Yeah, we are very fortunate with our Butler Tech partnership, and we're trying to expand it beyond our students. We have these outstanding computer labs full of technology in our schools, so we're trying to partner with Butler Tech to offer free adult classes. We're offering them in the evenings on Tuesday and Thursday from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Colerain Career Center. And it'll cover all kinds of facets. One being if for some reason an adult didn't graduate from high school, we have provided GED courses for free. They'll come in, do a short assessment, see what their needs are. They'll work with them, make sure they get their GED, which is a general education development diploma. It's opposite of a high school diploma, but it gets them a way to start making earnings and be successful in society. We will also start offering English for speakers of other languages, try to help out our community. And then eventually we will get down to offering skills and trades because we have these great labs that Butler Tech has provided for us. And, a school district is here to get students to achieve at the highest level, but we are also here to be part of a community. And any way we can help our adults to get into educational classes, get them to enhance or further their education is what we want to do.
Any listener out there hearing about this community resource should really follow up. Be motivated, just seize this opportunity because this is going to be a great resource if this opens up through Butler Tech. Some of the things that you were touching on there, really the timing couldn't be better for many segments of our labor force. One other thing I did want to ask you about, I was hoping that you might give our listeners an update on your overall master facility project.
Yeah, we currently are on target to open the schools in August 2018. I just don't want the community to think we're just sitting. We are in the design phase. So designing the inside, the outside of the three buildings, making sure we stay consistent in our savings for each of the building. And so far, we are right on target. So we're right where we need to be with our design phase. Folks can start looking for some dates, and I hope by the next time I talk to you in October, I will have some ribbon cutting dates for groundbreaking ceremonies for each of the three sites. And then starting in late October or November, They should start to see some foundations being poured at the buildings. And then the real majority of the construction will start in February, March, April of 2017. So just let the listeners know we are on target, on schedule. Things are looking great. And then I'll have more for you next month.